Hi. My eyelashes really annoy me. I doubt anyone will join me, but hi, if you are here, you might notice that my lights have fallen down again for God knows how many of time. But I hope you're all doing well. I'm a little bit tired tonight, so I thought I'd just do a quick live and then see how it turns out. But I've got my phone with me and I'm on the criminaljournal.com again, and I just thought I'd read a few from there, but I don't know if you can see this. This one is about someone called Ashley Starr. The murder of a 30-year-old woman by her ex-boyfriend, Marsham Lloyd, who stabbed her 105 times. So, I don't know if you can see, because my phone's probably won't show you, but that's the man that killed Ashley Starr was 30 when she was murdered in 2019 by her ex-boyfriend Marsham. She was a mother of 3 boys and a dietitian at the time her body was found inside her home in South Bend, Indiana. On the morning of March the 10th, 2019, Starr was scheduled for work, but she never showed up for a shift. That's when her sister, Tia, opted to go to her house in the 4,000 block of Huron Circle to check up on her, according to People magazine. Upon arrival, Tia noticed the front door was ajar. When she went inside, she found her sister laying on the floor in a pool of her own blood. Emergency services responded at the scene and they pronounced Ashley Starr dead. Her body was then conveyed to the medical examiner's office for an autopsy to determine the cause of death. The results revealed that she had been stabbed 105 times. That's a lot. The St. Joseph County Metro Homicide Unit announced Marsham Lloyd, then 26, who is the victim's former boyfriend, a person of interest in the case. Police officials learned that through an investigation that after Marsham Lloyd and Ashley Starr broke up, she took out a no-contract order against him. He then began sending her a series of threatening text messages. One of the text messages read, "If I can't have you, then nobody can." I don't know why men think that they own people. Winds me up. Starr sent a reply apprising him that he should stop contacting her because of the no-contact order. He replied, "That won't stop me. I'm done texting." The day before Ashley Starr's murder on March the 9th, 2019, a neighbour told investigators that he heard a man arguing with Starr outside her home between 11 p.m. and 11:30 p.m. After she reportedly told him that he was not coming inside her house, he drove off in a maroon vehicle. Police officers searched for Lloyd, but they were unsuccessful. They didn't know his whereabouts until March the 14th, 2019, when he was arrested by US Marshal Service in Gary, Indiana. Travelled far. And outstanding warrants. He was booked into the St. Joseph County Jail, where he was held without bond. When he was questioned, his mother, said that He left in the maroon car around 11 or 11:30. He then called her around 2:08 a.m. and told her that Starr had called him asking her to come out of her house. Officials said that Lloyd's cell phone was connected to a cell tower near Ashley Starr's residence from 11:20 p.m. until 2:08 a.m. The woman added that he returned to her home sometime between 3 a.m. and 5 a.m. wearing different clothing, and he was bleeding from a cut on his pinky. Lloyd went to sleep, but when he awoke the following morning, he told her that they needed to leave town and head to Gary, Indiana. She obliged. Once they arrived, Lloyd then insisted she trade in her vehicle. Weird. She went to a car dealership in Maryville. As she was in the midst of trading it in, the police arrived. They searched the car and found a small blood stain. A DNA test later determined that it was Ashley Starr's blood. On the 28th of March, Lloyd was charged with 1 count of murder. Superior Court Judge Elizabeth Hurley, that's a famous actress, isn't it, said that he made a choice not just to kill, but to kill in the most violent manner you could possibly do so. In January this year, Ashley Starr's mother told the South Bend Tribune that her death was taking a toll on Starr's 3 children. Everybody asks how they're doing. They're not doing well. I know they have sleepless nights, but they're not talking to me. The poor boys. At Marsh and Lloyd's sentencing, he apologised to the victim's family in court. He said, "I want to apologise. I know it doesn't mean anything, but at least I said I'm sorry. I hope you can find it in your heart to forgive me." In November 2019, he pled guilty to killing her. He was sentenced in January 2020 to 65 years in prison with 10 years suspended. Not a very nice man. So just in case you didn't see the pictures to start with, that's Ashley. And then that's the sick man that killed her. It's quite handy having my phone here. They've got another one. They've got loads on here. I don't really know if I want to do one about a child. Truck driver one. This one looks good. So this is about someone called Howard Eubank, and it's the murder of a 54-year-old truck driver, and his wife killed him. You'll have to bear with me because it's quite noisy in my house tonight. People keep opening and shutting doors, and my air freshener keeps going off. If you do hear things, sorry. But yeah, anyway, his wife dismembered his body inside storage containers. She looks nice. What's her name? Her name's Marcia, and his name's Howard. So that's the truck driver that was killed, and then that's his wife. Nice. So anyway, he was 54 years old when he was murdered by his wife, Marcia, in 2017. His dismembered body was found hidden inside storage containers at his home in Akron, Ohio. On December the 9th, 2017, Howard Eubank Jr., the son of Marcia, then 49 and Howard, locked himself out of the family home in the 3000 block of Linda Drive in Coventry Township. If any Americans are watching, can you try and explain to me what the 3000 and 4000 block means? We don't have that here, we just have streets. So that always confuses me, I don't really know what they're on about. But yeah, and decided to climb through the window of his bedroom that his mother would always keep locked. Once inside, he noticed a really bad smell emitting from a crate that was hidden underneath a pile of blankets that was surrounded by maggots and flies. Howard Jr. then took the crate outside and took a picture of it, sent it to his mother, and asked if she knew what was inside. It is part of your father's body, Marcia replied in a text message. The other parts are in the basement under 2 boxes in crates. Call the police and tell them I killed Dad and stored his body. Don't dig crates out, let the police do that. Why would you even tell your son that? You'd get your son to go to someone's house, like a family's house or something, and you'd tell the police yourself. Well, you just wouldn't do it in the first place, to be fair. This is why I can't do live streams, because I have to edit out so much of my own opinions. Yeah. Howard Jr. obliged. He called the Summit County Sheriff's Office and told the police officials that his mother confessed to killing his father. Later that day, officers arrested Marcia Eubank in the parking lot of a local Walmart. Why do so many killers just end up at Walmart? She was booked into the Summit County Jail on charges of aggravated murder, corpse abuse, and evidence tampering in the death of Howard Eubank. Her bond was set at $1 million. No one was going to pay that. In an interview with investigators at the Summit County Sheriff's Office, let me take this off 1 second, it might be a bit noisy. Marcia Eubank stated that on June 13, 2017, she got into an argument with her husband in an office of their home. Afterward, she went into their bedroom and retrieved a .22 caliber handgun, which she had purchased 4 days earlier. She planned to kill herself, but instead she returned to the office and shot Howard Eubank once in the back of the head while he was sitting at his desk. Marcia left the room, but when she heard him moaning, she went back and shot him 3 more times in the head. That's when he slumped over his computer and died. See, that's another thing I don't get. Why are they allowed to have guns in America and you're allowed to get a gun license? Here in the UK, it's completely illegal to own a gun unless it's for clay pigeon shooting or hunting. But you're not allowed. You have to go through specific police guidelines and things. You can't just get one willy-nilly. You have to have more than just ID to get one. Marcia told investigators that she had suffered years of mental abuse and physical abuse by her husband. According to a written statement, Marcia stated that she was tired of being belittled and yelled at, and something in her head snapped. I should have died that morning, but he started yelling at me like he always did, and I just couldn't take it anymore. It's hard, isn't it? Because you don't really know his side. Family members agreed that their relationship was tumultuous and there was verbal abuse, but they said that she was the aggressor and they never witnessed Howard physically assault her. Instead of turning herself into the police, as she originally contrived, Marcia decided to get rid of the evidence. First, she dragged his body to a closet and left it there for 8 days. Then she removed Howard's body and opted to cut off his limbs with the help of power tools and a grinder. Marcia Eubank dismembered her husband's body and poured bleach on it before dumping the remains in 3 plastic storage containers. One was kept in a locker room, while the other 2 were hidden away in a basement. Hours later, Marcia went to a job interview. The nerve. At the time, Howard was working as a truck driver for a pipe company, so she took his cell phone and sent a text message to his employer, which stated that he had become ill and he was quitting his job to move to Houston, Texas. Marcia had also sent out text messages to her husband's family and friends for 6 months to keep them up the facade and tell that Howard was doing well and was alive. Okay. Jonathan Eubank, the son of Howard Eubank and stepson of Marcia, told the news that we all thought it was odd and strange that he would just up and leave, but it never crossed our mind that she would actually murder him. He said the last time he spoke to his father was on the phone in May 2017. We were talking about him coming to my wedding and how excited he was to come and how proud of me he was, Jonathan said. And then in the middle of June, we got a message saying that he left my stepmom and went to Texas. Police learned through an investigation that Howard Eubank's murder may have been planned. 2 months before his death, Marcia used a computer in her home office to search how to murder, what to murder people with, and what poisons kill, and the effects of lye. On June the 18th, 2017, 6 days after the killing, email records indicated that Marcia purchased lye on Amazon. She records that she attempted to cash in her husband's $401,000 retirement account. Well, in a press release, Summit County Prosecutor Sherry Bevan Walsh said that this was a very difficult situation. My heart goes out to the family. However, Mrs. Eubank needs to be accountable for her actions. Yes, she does. She killed her husband, hid the body, and lied for 6 months about what happened. If not for her son finding his father's body, what she did may still be a secret today. In December 2018, Marcia Eubank decided to plead guilty to murder with a firearm specification, tampering with the evidence, and abuse of a corpse in lieu of going to trial. The aggravated murder charge was dropped. 2 months later, she was sentenced to life in prison, but after 20 years she will be eligible for parole. I don't think I'd want to meet her. So, yep. And again, so she's the wife that killed her husband, that's Marcia, and then that's Howard. Hi to the people watching. I'll leave a comment in here as well if anyone wants to talk. I'll be on with the next one in a sec. If anyone wants to talk to me, feel free to comment there. I am looking at them. There is loads on him. I'm on the criminal journal. Nope. Most read. We'll do an unsolved this will be my last one because I've been on here for 20 minutes. But this is about a girl called Hannah Truelove, and it's an unsolved murder. She was 16 and her body was found in a wooded area behind her complex apartment. And then that's, I don't know if you can see. I hope you can because it looks alright from my screen. Anyway, Hannah Truelove was 16 years old when she was murdered in 2012. She was a student at Gainesfield High School and it was an dyslexia. She was an aspiring veterinarian. She wanted to be a vet, basically. She wanted to look after sick animals. At the time, her body was found in a ravine behind her home at the Lake Lanier Club Apartments in Gainesville, Georgia. On August the 23rd, 2012, Mona Harris returned from work and noticed her daughter wasn't there to greet her. However, she knew Hannah had been to their apartment on Dornersville Highway, which was gated community, because the mail had been tossed on the couch. Mona then took a nap, but when she awoke the same day and learned that her daughter still hadn't made it home, panic began to set in. She called her ex-husband, Jeff Truelove, who was Hannah's father, and asked if they had gone for their usual dinner date. When Jeff told her that their daughter wasn't with him, Mona called several of Hannah's friends, but they too hadn't seen her. That's when she contacted the Hall County Police Department and reported her missing, which prompted a search by law enforcement. Truelove was last seen hanging out with her friends in the common area of the apartment building around 7:30 p.m. the same day, and that's a news channel reported that. Law enforcement officers searched for Hannah in the surrounded wooded areas, but they eventually had to call it off after the storm hit, which left 2 to 3 inches of streams in its wake. The following day, on August the 24th, a man walking his dog found a body behind Lake Lanier Club Apartments in a heavily wooded area. The body was later identified as Hannah Truelove. She was discovered a quarter-mile from her home, directly behind her apartment complex. Her remains were transported to the state's medical examiner's office for an autopsy, but the results were withheld from the public as a result of an active investigation. The Gainesville Times reported, but they did state that she had been stabbed multiple times. Poor girl. Lieutenant Dan Franklin, with the Hall County Sheriff, told 11 Alive in 2018 that Hannah was laying under submerged water for a period of time, and so, unfortunately, what that did is it washed away a great deal of our trace evidence and blood evidence. A witness told investigators that before Hannah was reported missing, a silver car containing 3 unidentified male teenagers had pulled up into the apartment complex. A male subject exited the vehicle and walked around a tree line, out of sight of the witness. That individual returned about 10 minutes later, but this time Hannah Truelove was seen walking behind him, about 10 or 15 steps. They continued walking across the parking lot and behind a building near the area where she was found dead. she was seen alive after that, but law enforcement officers said that the individual is still a person of interest. Franklin said, "We've had several persons of interest that we've looked at and we've interviewed, and again, what we're looking for is somebody on the fringe, somebody that has the knowledge, that has a piece of information that'll open the door to these people that we've already looked at, that we're not ready to discount yet. There is a small chance that it could have just been random, but I believe in my heart that it was someone she knew." Mona told reporters, she added, "She's just a funny, loving, compassionate child that did not deserve anything like this. I know that one or two people saw what happened, were afraid to come forward. If they could come forward, they'd be fine. Don't worry about what the consequence would be for revealing the killer. We've got to get this solved," Jeff stated. Initially, it was believed that Anna had a stalker who may have been involved in her death. It was reported the day before Hannah Truelove disappeared. She tweeted, "I need to move out of these dang apartments." And she was so scared right now, along with a concerning string of tweets. However, Franklin said Hannah Truelove's tweets were just venting, and that there was nothing for a legitimate threat that came from those. That's unfortunate. Throughout the years, all county police have received thousands of leads, but it has not gotten them any closer to catching the person or persons responsible for the death of Hannah Truelove, leaving her case unsolved. Franklin said, "I think there were too many people out that evening. If she was taken against her will, they would have heard something or heard her struggle. I feel she came into this location with somebody voluntarily, somebody that she knew." He went on to say that he would never give up on the search to find her killer. He suspects that there was more than one person present at the time that she was murdered. If you were the person that murdered her, how could you actually live with something like that? The guilt would just eat away at you, surely. But GBI reported that a 1990s to early 2000s four-door vehicle, which was possibly a light silver-coloured Chevrolet or Dodge, with front-end damage, was seen in the area at the time of the murder. Investigators believe that the occupants in the car could provide information that would help the case. Hannah Truelove's funeral was held on August the 29th, 2012, at the Timber Ridge Baptist Church in Gainesville, and she was laid to rest at Timber Ridge Baptist Church Cemetery. And then it just goes on to say anybody with any information should ring the number below. But for those who have just joined, or if anybody missed it, this is Hannah Truelove. She's the girl that they found murdered, but they haven't found out who done it yet. She was only 16. Anyway, I think that's enough for tonight. That's 3 stories in half an hour. I need to go to bed because I'm very tired. It's only half 9 here in the UK, 20 to 10 at night. Normally, I'd only now be recording a video and then I'd be uploading it at about midnight because it takes me so long to edit them. So I thought I'd do a live tonight and then I'll be back with my usual video on Sunday. But yeah, I hope you've enjoyed it. Thank you for watching me, and yes, I will see you all soon. I'll see you all on Sunday.